At the end of the day, the person sleeping with you every night, having breakfast with you every morning, sipping that cappuccino with you every time you want a coffee, having shower with you, crying with you, hearing thousands of negative thoughts inside your head, seeing all the tears that you've cried is yourself. So you want to make sure that the person that you impress the most is you. It's okay if they don't like you. It's not going to cost you millions of dollars or even a few $100s for somebody to not like you. Why you need to develop the courage to be disliked. Now, over the years, I've learned something very crucial to my self-esteem, and that is nobody is going to be responsible for your life failures. When things fall apart, when you hate yourself, when you are crying all alone, there may be people who may emotionally support you here and there, but you are always 100% responsible for the next chapter of your life after you fall down, cry, and experience your disappointment. And with that requires the courage to not give a about what other people think of you. And so today, I'm going to empower you with a brand new perspective on how to really embrace being disliked by majority of the people who will probably never rise to your level. Now, hi everyone, my name is Patty, and my mission is to empower you to charge through life with 100% confidence. Now, let's get started. 1. Haters don't pay your bills. And how many times have you let the opinions of others affect how you feel about yourself? Yet you are the one who is responsible for buying that grocery, for paying the water bills, the electricity bills. And none of the people that criticize your dreams or your visions are going to really be there to support your rent. See, there was a phase where I somehow did the inner work to manifest my dream life, where I was financially supporting myself and living the exact way that I wanted to. And the minute I started to document this onto my old Facebook account and my old Instagram account, I started having people ask me, Patty, are you mentally okay? Are you mentally okay? Because, your bikini pictures, they may be too raunchy. And I was literally like, maybe sometimes I have some mood swings and I may experience up and downs. But other than that, I wasn't depressed. I was very excited and fulfilled with how I was living. And interestingly enough, let's just say you get some mediocre job that doesn't even align with your passion, and you start to publish this onto your Facebook account that, yeah, I got this banking job like everybody else does. Literally hundreds of people will congratulate you. But when you start to work on your passion project that you feel very aligned to, and you're able to put your heart and soul 12 hours a day just in it with no pay in the beginning, but you feel so much excitement to work on it every day. Yet when you announce or document this onto your social media feeds, people will literally question your vision, and they will ask you if you have any other backup plans in case this plan doesn't work. If you've ever experienced this, you have to realize that even your blood-related relatives and cousins, or the people that you think care for you just because they're your mom or dad's friend, maybe they do kind of care for you to an extent, but if they don't pay your bills, scrap it, girls. Post the bikini pictures, post the brush makeup, post anything that makes you feel liberated. Because if the money comes out of your pocket and you're choosing to spend your money in this particular way, it is none of anybody's business on what you should do with your life or what visions you have for your life. 2. Time won't wait for you. Now, for me, fortunately, I've never experienced moments where I felt like, oh, this year has gone by and I literally did nothing. But I have met friends who were like, oh, 10 years just flashed by like that. Only 10 years ago, we were still high school students and it was the best day of my life. But I'm a big believer that any day can be the best day of your life, even when you're 40, 50, 60, or 70. And I don't believe in staying stuck in a particular phase of your life just because it's the youthful phase. So the main point is that time is an illusion. But at the same time, when you don't do things that align with your higher purpose, you're going to feel like you're wasting your life, even if, again, time is an illusion and it's never too late to start. When we start something like a YouTube channel, there's always a lot of analysis paralysis. What if I can't speak on camera? What if I don't have any more topics to talk about? What if my relatives or cousins find my video? What if my old friends find my videos? What if my employees find my videos? And we think about all the people that may judge us, but we are allowing each day that we have to pass by like that because we let analysis paralysis overshadow our courage. Honestly, there's always going to be certain opinions that you have that don't resonate with everyone. But if you always try to shape yourself to fit in with every single crowd, you will never gain their respect. And even worse, you will lose your sense of self. And when you lose your sense of self, now you're going to start questioning, what did I do with my time? Why did I waste my time like that? So in order for you to stop literally wasting your time, you have to sacrifice people's perception of you in order for you to fully like yourself. At the end of the day, the person sleeping with you every night, having breakfast with you every morning, sipping that cappuccino with you every time you want a coffee, having shower with you, crying with you, hearing thousands of negative thoughts inside your head, seeing all the tears that you've cried is yourself. So you want to make sure that the person that you impress the most is you. It's okay if they don't like you. It's not going to cost you millions of dollars or even a few $100s for somebody to not like you. 3. This is your one shot at life, guys. Now, I'm a big believer that we are all spirits that reincarnate in different bodies throughout different lifetimes. But when we are in this current physical body and our spirit is here to learn certain lessons through this physical body, we only have one shot in this particular lifetime. So we want to make sure that in this lifetime that we are breathing through this healthy body, that we're making the most of it. There are going to be times where you feel like university is not for me, which was something that I felt already 1.5 years in. But my parents were like, no, finish his degree first and figure out later. So I wasted the remaining years of university to depression and suicidal thoughts and excessive stress. And even though, yes, it kind of paid off because it gave me the illusion that I would be qualified for the design industry. But today, I don't use that degree for anything. So again, if you feel like your heart desires a certain career path, you want to go to art school, you want to learn unconventional things, but your parents are telling you that you have to study medicine or law, but deep down, you have a passion for art. I'm telling you guys again that those 4 extra years that you waste to depression, to anxiety, to stress will not exactly pay off, because after you get a job in the industry that you don't like, you are still going to suffer. So I want to ask you one thing. Would you rather sacrifice your mental well-being, the days you could have smiled more, laughed more, felt proud of yourself more, been there for yourself more, acknowledge how you feel more? Would you want to sacrifice all of that so that your mom's friend could congratulate you once every 6 months of meeting up? Is that more important to you than yourself, who wakes up next to you every morning, who feels your brain fogginess every morning, who knows how anxious you are every single morning? If it means that other people may say to you, oh, are you lost? Do you know what you're doing with your life? Oh my God, why don't you get this job? Instead of them advising you on what they think is best for you, you are the person who always knows what is best for you. So you want to make sure that in this particular lifetime where you are breathing and living through this body, you really give yourself permission to be happy on more days than not. If you have 365 days in a year, you want to at least make yourself happy 300 days a year. Then make yourself miserable 300 days a year and then look forward to 14 days vacation and 14 days off work or something like that. Right? 4, nothing good comes from being a dick to yourself. Now, what do I mean by being a dick to you? Well, think about that guy who always breadcrumbs you. He doesn't treat you right, and he knows that, but he still continues to give you breadcrumbs. Think about that friend who literally leaves 5 minutes from the cafe where you're meeting up, and you're traveling 2.5 hours to see that friend. Yet that friend shows up 40 minutes late, and you end up paying for the entire meal. Think about that classmate who can't be bothered to research or study for the materials, and they ask you for everything to teach them the skill sets for the answers you spend hours researching, and you get nothing in return. Well, a lot of times we are subconsciously doing something similar to ourselves without even realizing. I remember a particular phase of my life where my mom was posting my graduation pictures, and I was pretty happy to just finish everything off by that time as well. And she would still have people literally saying shit like, my daughter doesn't have to go to a top university and she's still self-sufficient, making her own income, and she only finished high school. And I was literally thinking, When do we finally surpass that benchmark where people can just accept us for our life decision? I've already spent 3 years being depressed, anxious as fuck, commuting 1.5 hours each time to lectures, and not even understanding half the materials because I cannot code. And 95% of that course involved coding. Every single night where I felt like I wasn't going to submit my assignment on time, I was getting panic attacks. I was feeling depressed. I was so scared that there's no other options in life and I was going to drown forever. Many nights I went through this just for somebody else to get envious and still find snarky things to say about me. And interestingly, this cycle continued all the way to my late 20s. I would do every single thing that society says is the ultimate checkbox for success. I would try to show up on time. I would be a team player. I would give it my all. I would always say yes. But even on the days where I have my periods, I would ignore my cramps just to show up on time at that meeting. On the day where I'm so exhausted on the other side of Sydney, I would still catch the Beeline bus, then the train, then walk 10 minutes to the library and still allow somebody to say to me, "Why'd you come half an hour late?" On the days where I felt neglected and abandoned, I still allowed people to continue treating me in a way where I felt under-prioritized. Now that was me being a dick to myself. And I want to ask you as well if there are any instances in your life where you've ignored your period cramps, you've ignored your headache, you ignored the red flag inside of you, you ignored how you feel, and you think that your needs are too much to ask for. You think that it's too much to ask for a commitment or for a better treatment when you've given that relationship your all, but you still never had the title. You think that it's too much to tell your friends to meet you halfway because you are always the one traveling an hour or 2 hours to see them. But it's not convenient for them, so they're not going to do it. When you ignore the red flags inside of your body, that is you being a dick to yourself. And I'm telling you that the minute that you end this cycle, people will get pissed off at you. People will not like you for standing up for yourself. But who would like you the most at the end of this? Yourself. You will start to respect yourself more. You will honor your needs more. You will finally know that your presence matters in this world, and you will never have to bend your back for people who will probably never pay your bills, honestly. 5. Doormats are designed to get stepped on. Right? Literally speaking, doormats are designed for you to step on it. When let's just say you step on the mud or the ground is dirty and the person inside the home, and you want to protect your home from having that dirt on the floor. So you then have a doormat to step your foot on that doormat first before you go inside the house. Well, metaphorically speaking, this applies the same with humans. As long as you position yourself as a doormat, you will always get stepped on. So you want to make sure that you stop questioning why people look over you. People treat you like a shadow, no matter how much you give it their all and make them the star of your movie. If you continue to dim your own light to make other people shine brighter, I want to remind you today that it's okay to piss them off. It's okay to make them mad because you're refusing to be a shadow in anybody's movies. See, I remembered when I was working for this coaching startup job and I asked to go to my first ever retreat in Byron Bay and also my first ever trip to Byron Bay. But I said that I would still work, and at the time we were all working from home. But the founder said, no, you can't go to Byron Bay on your retreat because this period in April is going to be super busy. Then April rolls around, and because of her stupid decisions with her company, there was no task for me to do because she wasn't closing the clients. There were no clients to serve. Things were still messy. So as a result, I had no task due in April. So that time that I had nothing to do, I could have spent it at the retreat at Byron Bay, exploring the city, bonding with people, taking better care of my mental health, and still showing up to be there for my teammates. And already at the time, that was a big red flag. I asked myself if every single work culture had to be like this, where I always had to be treated as a standby. The next instance where I was living on my own and I wanted to go get the grocery at 4 p.m. I was scared that the shop was going to close by 5 p.m. or something like that. And the founder was like, everybody at 4 p.m., you must come onto this meeting, this huddle on Zoom. 3:55 p.m. rolls around. She said, guys, I'm going to be late. After 10 minutes have passed, she announces that I'm going to be half an hour late. Now she's going to show at 4:30 p.m. So we are all there waiting for her to attend the Zoom meeting. And I'm asking myself, is my time not valuable? Is my time really this cheap? Do I really have to put everything on pause, including getting the basic groceries, just to waste half an hour waiting for somebody to be on a Zoom call? I was really pissed off that day. And I realized that as long as I still worked for this company, nothing will be changed. I positioned myself as a doormat. I positioned myself as a standby, a shadow for other people to look good in that company at the cost of my well-being, at the cost of my convenience, at the cost of me sitting around doing nothing, having no work to do because she made stupid decisions with her company that didn't enable the company to have any clients, when I could have used all that time to read a book, to write my YouTube outlines, to grow my YouTube channel, to grow my own personal brand, to go on a retreat, to discover myself, to work on myself. And that is why it is so important for you to recognize how much your time is worth, that your value is determined by what you say no to. Once you say yes to being a doormat, you will always get stepped on. Just like the doormat itself, as long as it's there on the footstep of the house, we will all step on it. So even if you pissed off the people you used to work with, even if you pissed off everybody that, oh, I actually make my own decisions now and I don't have to let anybody else control how I live my life, that is when your life will improve for the better and no longer will you have to be a cameo in other people's movies. 6. Nice girls only get vanilla treatment. Now, what do I mean by this? Let's just compare a fudgy, fancy chocolate ice cream with all the chocolate melts and the beautiful mocha whipped cream and this soft sponge cake that melts in your mouth. It gives you that luxurious feeling when you taste the flavors. Everything is beautiful. Every part of that dessert feels satisfying. Whereas vanilla ice cream, it still tastes good, but it is what it is. A flat flavored vanilla ice cream. And what vanilla treatment from a guy feels like is, it's good, but it is what it is. You can't really ask for more because, again, you position yourself to be a doormat, or you are scared to piss him off, or you are scared to piss society off if you don't get married by a certain time. So you settle for what is not right for you, and therefore your life starts to feel vanilla. Now, there's nothing wrong with feeling vanilla, but I'm asking you if you've ever encountered situations where the guy may take you to a nice restaurant and he might make comments like, everything is overpriced here. Oh my God, the cocktail is $20. How overpriced. Oh my God, this plate is $40 just for this portion. I could have a buffet for $40 per head and it would fill me up. And this place is just rubbish. You get the nice treatments, yes, but then you have these counter little moments that makes everything a turn off. That is you settling for vanilla treatment. And the reason why you always get vanilla treatment is because you are scared of pissing the guy off, or you are scared that there's nobody else better than him. And that is why I'm a big fan of working on your spirit to the point where you feel like, if this guy disappears from my life for the next 5 years, I won't really feel anything than gratefulness that we've met. But I won't really miss him. I won't really regret anything because I leveled up my spirit and I know that there's so much better out there for me. Instead of trying to convince a guy that he's not ready to give you what you want, to give you what you want. So the question is, how do you influence people to give you that beautiful princess hot chocolate treatment? By treating yourself like a princess. By treating yourself as if you are hot chocolate. By stop being vanilla. Stop making your life feel vanilla. If you like fine dining, appreciate the ambience, the design, the hours it takes for a chef to design something on that plate. Even if it's this size scallop with a bit of sauce, like a dip of sauce on the side. But you want to appreciate other aspects of that experience besides the food portion. If everything about your life is, oh, the food is there for you to just eat it. You don't have to make food fancy because it's going to be in your stomach anyway. If you don't appreciate paying more for a luxe experience, you will not attract a guy who will appreciate paying luxe experience for you. And I had to learn this the very, very hard way, that if you want to be vanilla with yourself by always finding every single thing on discount, and discounts are great until you start really compromising the quality of that product. When everything in your life is about coupons, discounts, buying the cheapest things for yourself, eating whatever is on the plate, don't worry about styling it, just eat it. Going to a buffet all the time, settling for places that don't make you feel sexy, and the people don't have the same kind of mannerisms as you in a restaurant. And you think that because I shouldn't be looking down on other people, therefore I always have to settle and sit in restaurants where people chew really, really loudly, they sneeze loudly in the table, they talk really, really loud in a restaurant, they laugh really, really loud, they slurp really, really loud, and you're asking yourself, why don't I deserve to go to a place where everything feels relaxed? I don't have to stress about that sound. I don't have to hear the arguments or conversations or obnoxiously loud laughters if I don't want to. And that again comes from you knowing your worth and knowing that you deserve to sit in restaurants with nice ambiances. You deserve to buy yourself the roses. You deserve to gift yourself the jewelry, the beautiful makeup, your favorite dress. And stop being so logical and being like, oh, it's overpriced. It's not just about the price. It's about the experience. It's about how you feel. It's about making you feel elevated. And if a guy cannot do that for you, you give yourself permission to meet a guy that can afford to do that for you. Not settle for vanilla treatments because you don't want to upset him, you don't want to bother him, or you think you can't get better. People who get pissed off at high standards are the one who cannot meet the standards themselves. So make sure you give yourself permission to meet people that are just on the same wavelength as you. And don't worry about losing the people that just don't vibe with you anymore. It's okay. Most surface friendships won't even last up to 10 years, let alone 5 years. Now, have you been in many scenarios where you will bend your back to be there for that friend? So for example, somebody that you create a bond with today, and there's this intense sister bond, and you feel like she means a lot to me and I want to be a good friend to her. So if she calls you crying and telling you that I need money or I need something and I need you to be here for me right now, and you drop your priorities, you drop your work, you drop your period cramps, you drop your headache, you drop everything to be there for her at that moment, and you waste your whole day on just that, just so you can be a good friend. There are some times where those moments pay off, but I guarantee you that 90% of the time those moments don't pay off long term. You need to set boundaries. See, I remember the time where my 4 years relationship ended, and I was just so happy for my ex that he had so many people supporting him after the breakup. But as for me, I think I told about 2 to 3 friends, and that's it. And there was not much that happened. They just asked me if I was okay, and we all moved on. But nobody visited my house. They weren't there on the couch with me when I cried. We didn't even really talk about that much. So that was one of the turning points where I realized that the more you can rely on yourself to move on, the more you become independent, the more you become your own best friend, the more liberation you have with your life. So if you are again self-sacrificing, being virtuous, over-giving, putting too much time in one relationship, giving your friend 5-6 hours each time you meet just for them to talk about themselves and their stories, please reevaluate your worth. Reevaluate why that particular person deserves 5 to 6 hours of your time, where you are the main giver, you are the active listener, you are the one traveling to meet them, you are the one boosting their egos. Do they really deserve it? And if they do deserve it, how much are you being emotionally incentivized? Are you being supported exactly for who you are? Are you being encouraged exactly for who you are? Do you get snarky comments? Are people secretly envious of you? Is it a win-win situation for you? As you get a little bit older, you must really value your time and see things logically. Is you being virtuous and self-sacrificing for this person to like you going to level up your lifestyle in the next 6 months? Is it going to level you up? Or is it going to make you position yourself as the doormat? After every 3 to 6 months, I want you to actually sit down, journal your thoughts, journal all your frustrations that will come up in that moment. When you experience something you don't like, that feeling is always instant. I want you to remember that feeling and journal it. Write it all out logically, that why did I feel this way? And do I deserve to continue feeling this way? 90% of the time, it will be a no. You don't deserve to keep tuning your energy in to please others. You deserve to work on your own dreams, even if it pisses that friend off. And again, if somebody gets pissed off because you want to level up your life, that is not true friendship. That is entitlement. And I'm telling you that you do not need to waste your life to entitled people who think that they are entitled to your time and energy. You deserve to put that time and energy to work on your YouTube channel, to work on your fitness, to work on your breath, to pamper yourself, to take care of yourself, girls. Do not just be self-sacrificing and virtuous for other people. Be self-sacrificing and virtuous for the future you, and the return will be 10x more greater. 8. Your employers will always fire you instead of themselves. And what does this really mean? It means that no matter how hard you work for somebody, if they have to choose between them getting fired or them firing you, what do you think they would choose? Would they really be like, oh, I really see Patty's value for this company that I don't own, so therefore I'm going to sacrifice my salary and my career potential just so that my underling can stay? Maybe there is a small percentage of people that will sacrifice their career path for others, but majority of the time, your employers will not sacrifice their position for you. So do not sacrifice your entire well well-being, your time, your weekend, your energy to make them look good. See, what is the purpose of people hiring people? To help them do the job, to get the job done, to get the workload off them, to help them have a better day. But let's just say my team performs very, very well. Who takes the credit? The boss, of course. Maybe the underlings are the people that do all the dirty work to make shit happen. But who will take the credit at the end? Oh, it's me that mentored them. It's because of my mentorship. It's because of my leadership that makes her motivated to step up. It's because of the way I teach her how to do this. That's why she's so competent. Now, again, I may be skeptical, but I'm telling you that the minute you ask your boss, would you trade your position with mine? If you really love me as a teammate, can you give me your position and you come and work my position? Can you give me your current salary and you take my salary? And you see what they really say. If your employer is not willing to swap positions with you in terms of salary, in terms of position and prestige, do not give your 100% to them. Don't make your life about this work. Don't invest 90% of your energy into this work because you also deserve to give yourself the credit. So many times, people will self-sacrifice to be good employees. They want to be recognized. They want to belong. They want to be appreciated. But I'm telling you that you're yearning to belong. You're yearning to be recognized. You're yearning to just be somebody in this world. Like, I'm hired and I have a great teammate. That is what's going to cause you to, again, position yourself as a doormat. And girls, we didn't come here to be doormats. Now, what I'm saying may be really shitty because a lot of times we have grown up being taught that you must self-sacrifice for others. You must give. You must give value. You must invest everything for somebody to look good, whatever. But I don't believe in it. I believe in you giving a generous amount to others, but still pouring back into your basket. Every single time I was hired, I would give that company my all. I would wake up extra early, show up to work on time, hit the KPIs, be smiley, be positive. And what did I get in return? Crumbs. Of course, no promotions, no better treatments. The wake-up call was that even if I stayed here for the next 5 to 10 years, I won't be able to afford my dream house. That was my biggest wake-up call. If you came here on earth with specific desires, such as buying a certain house, having a certain lifestyle, having a certain body, having a certain type of partner, having a certain type of friend group, and you slaving away at this job takes away from your dream vision. You must also take your energy back from that job if you can't afford to leave right now and pour back into your vision, pour back into your dreams, pour back into your life purpose, pour back into your own well-being. You don't need to overnight for that boss. You won't get the credits. You don't need to sacrifice being sick, working so damn hard for other people to get all the credits. If you're going to all out like I did with this YouTube channel, do it for you. Do it for your growth. Do it for your own learning. Do it for your own resilience level. And I promise you that the universe will be so much more kinder to you that at least you self-sacrificed for the future you, for your future work, and not for somebody else who doesn't truly value you. 9, you deserve to be fulfilled every single day. Now back to the point where I said, if you have 365 days in a year, you want to be fulfilled at least for 300 days, not miserable for 300 days and then waiting for your vacation to Bali or something like that. But that's how majority of people live. They are miserable, they are bored, they feel stagnant, they feel lost for 300 days, then they look forward to their annual leaves. They look forward to that Thailand vacation in Phuket or something. But the thing is, why not we train ourselves to feel amazing about our lives for 300 days instead of training our body to feel miserable, bored as fuck, tired, stagnant, and tolerating reality for 300 days a year. See, I will never get the concept of if you tolerate reality enough, you will one day be fulfilled. It's like saying if I self-sacrifice enough for this company, they will promote me. If I self-sacrifice for this relationship enough, the guy will see my value. If I self-sacrifice for this friendship enough, I will become the best friend who is cherished and valued. It doesn't make sense. So if you are sad and miserable for 300 days, what makes you think the next 300 days you're going to be blissful and happy? Unless you are purging and going through a spiritual awakening, right? So instead of you trying to please everybody, oh, Patty, can you get that task done for me? Oh, Patty, can you attend this meeting for me? Oh, Patty, can you do this research for me? Can you process these documents for me? Can you do all this shitty admin work for me that at the end means nothing? doesn't add to anything. It's a redundant, time-wasting task. Ask yourself, why didn't you allow yourself to spend that time learning how to film better, to speak better, to level up your video editing, to learn higher income skills? A lot of times when people are literally like, I don't know what else to look forward to this year. I'm getting old, I'm not fit, everything's boring, I have nothing to look forward to. That's because you've normalized feeling purposeless. It doesn't mean you don't have a life purpose, but you've normalized letting other people, conditions, and a shitty environment control your state of being. But you want to be the one who's in charge of your state of being. If something feels too much, you're going to listen to your body and say no right away, even if it pissed the other person off. If you are going to upset other people by choosing you first, allow them to be upset. Nobody is responsible for anybody's happiness. Everybody should learn how to self-regulate and be independent. Live independent of others and be responsible for their own well-being. I had so many people feeling entitled to my time, thinking that traveling 2 hours from this particular home to go and attend a 2 hours meeting, then traveling an hour back, is easy to do. I made it easy for them, but it was never easy to do. On the day where I started drawing boundaries and saying that I can't do it, I would always be guilt-tripped. And honestly, guys, our spirit didn't come to this earth to live with guilt. To live with, oh my God, I should have been there for them. Oh my God, I should have been nicer. No. What feels fulfilling to you? What do you enjoy doing? Where do you want to be? Do you want to be in the ocean water? Do you want to sit down in a beautiful cafe on a Tuesday evening? Do you want to have that piece of steak? Do you want to dress up and go to a beautiful play instead? Do you want to give yourself the opportunity to meet other guys instead in a different context? Start a brand new life. Allow yourself to receive that love. What does your soul desire? Once you know that, you must have the courage to piss people off. I want a guy who makes me feel warm, feel safe, feel empowered, feel inspired. So I'm going to tune my focus towards that guy and not my old reality. It's done. We've moved on. But when you don't give yourself permission to just throw away things that have expired. For example, if you are a fridge and you don't throw out all the expired milk, the expired vegetables, where do you make room to fill new vegetables, to fill up fresh milk? Same thing with life. Allow yourself to experience your highest desire as much as you can. Draw the boundary for yourself so that you can live a rich life, no matter what your bank account says. So that you take yourself to the play, to the beach, to the swim, to the date that you like, to the hotel that you like, to wear the dress that you like, to hang out with people that you like. That is what you deserve. Once you can see reality this way, of course, you would make other people upset, but you will never upset yourself ever again, right? And finally, growth requires death to your old self. Now, I've seen a lot of videos that say something along the lines of, people will always remember you as the version of you that they know. So once you start to move on from people from your past and you've gone through the spiritual awakening, you've improved yourself, you've improved your mindset, but the people from your past still sees you the same. It's because they're refusing to acknowledge this authentic version of you, and they remember the parts of you that they want to remember. And that's how a lot of people treat you, including your old employers, including your old friends from high school, from kindergarten, whatever. Unless they are open-minded enough to acknowledge you for who you are today. So many people from your past will just label you as the same and tell you the same shit and make you waver. And your job is to not waver. So why is this crucial to know? It's because in order for you to truly level up to the next level, again, you have to throw out the expired milk, the expired vegetables, the expired meat in the fridge to fill up the fresh ones. In order for you to fully grow, you must die to your old self. You must allow your old expired self to go. And your old expired self has extensions of her. Extensions of her meaning certain friends, certain associations with certain kind of people, a certain job, a certain lifestyle that doesn't suit the new version of you anymore. But if you hang on to the extensions of the old you, the friends who will not allow you to bloom, the lifestyle that doesn't allow you to get really, really fit, the partner or the guy that doesn't allow you to really experience that true blissful love, but he still tries to stay in touch with you because it benefits him. You must give yourself permission to walk away so you can fully die to that old self and give yourself space to bloom into the butterfly that you were always meant to be. So on December the 5th, 2023, I met this guy. Throughout the time since then, till now. All the transformation that was made in my life was inspired by imaginations of him and the moment that we met. It was crazy because every single time I thought of him, again and again and again, there were certain parts of me that would die. For example, I deep down have always wanted to feel butterflies and feeling shy but feeling safe, or feeling fully prioritized and listened to. And dating is about having enriching conversations and not just sex. And I realized that that was what I wanted the most. I wanted to have really rich conversations, the kind of date where you just sit opposite each other and just talk about anything like law, tech, innovation, AI, like have really interesting discussion. And this guy gave me the impression that he knows so many things. He knows about UX design, he knows about AI, he runs his own company, so he knows all about that. And I was imagining how interesting the conversations with him would be if I got to sit opposite of him and just listen to him talk. And because in my default reality, there was no evidence of that happening, I would just imagine the scene by myself. And every single time I imagined the scene, I would be inspired to wear makeup, film a YouTube video, and keep going, to the point where I felt this certainty that I could get paid by making YouTube videos, which was something that I didn't believe in for so many years. And because of that imagination, my new world started to materialize bit by bit every single month. And then I look back all together this last year and I realized that I was giving myself permission to let go of the expired milk, the expired vegetables, the expired meat, so that all this new imagination was symbolic of the new milk, the fresh meat, the fresh vegetables to be put in my fridge, to nourish me, to nourish my soul, so that I stopped being so convenient all the time, so that no matter what I wanted to create, I could use my mind to create it. So every single time I had these imaginal scenes, I was then inspired to be that version of me who was living that reality in this real life, in my awakened life. I would be inspired to take better care of myself. I would be inspired to set boundaries to my working time even. I would be inspired to wake up at 4:30 a.m. and get to the pool by 7 a.m. I would be inspired to do evening walks, because I would ask myself all the time, if you were to feel very sexy, very beautiful in his presence, would you be a fit person? Yes. Would you be mentally stable? Yes. Would your YouTube make money by now? Yes. Would you feel empowered getting paid with YouTube? Yes. So what does that mean? Posting consistently? Yes. And what does posting consistently mean? Having a structured routine, setting really firm boundaries, taking really good care of my sleep, my health, my everything. And all of those things came true. And it's absolutely magical. Something I could never do when I was just living in my 3D and just reacting to my 3D. So eventually, all my old habits just died. The habit of being people pleasing, the habit of being other people's convenience, the habit of being a doormat, the habit of not wanting to piss people off. I told myself that if I met him and had that conversation with him in the hotel that we met, I would not be pissed off at myself consistently. I would be happy with myself. I would be proud of my progress. I would be feeling good, feeling fit, feeling disciplined, feeling self-respect. And today, I feel that. I truly feel it thanks to him and the day we met. And that is how powerful it is for you to listen to your intuition and make your imaginal reality your dominant reality. The reality where you get to be the 10 out of 10 dream girl version of you who is fulfilled for at least 300 days of the year. You deserve to be her. You deserve to stop pissing yourself off in order to make other people feel safe. You deserve to make yourself feel safe despite pissing off everybody in your reality. Screw that. You deserve to be kind to yourself. You deserve to fully love yourself. You deserve to honor your needs and really have the people who could do the same for you be in your life. So this is Patty again. I really hope you guys enjoy this video. And if you do, leave your thoughts on the comment section. Other than that, see you soon. Bye-bye.